If you feel like your moisturizer just sits on top of your skin, or if your face feels tight and dry again just an hour or so after applying your moisturizing cream, then today's video is for you. Hi, I'm Julie and welcome back to the Glow Studio for the next part of the 50 plus sensitive skin reset series. In the last video, we talked about cleansing for sensitive skin. But once the skin is clean, the next step is just as vital, and that is moisturizing. So for sensitive skin, a moisturizer isn't just about feeling soft, it's about repair and protection. And today I'll explain why your skin feels like it's leaking moisture once you get over the age of 50, the big three ingredients to look for in your moisturizer, and why natural isn't always better for sensitive skin, and my press and seal technique for applying your moisturizer for maximum comfort. As always, I've updated the sensitive skin resource guide and it's in the description box below with my top moisturizer picks for every budget. So there's bound to be something for you. And if this all sounds interesting, I would love it if you would join my skincare community by subscribing to the channel. And that way you won't miss my next video, which is all about serums for sensitive skin. So we've talked in previous videos about the skin barrier and why it's important, but let's look a little bit closer at what's happening inside your skin barrier as we start to age. So firstly, picture your skin like the rubber in a rubber balloon. And when we're younger, the balloon rubber is nice and thick and it holds that air in the balloon perfectly with no leaks. But as we get older, the rubber of the balloon becomes thinner and a little bit more porous, and it slowly is letting air escape. So that's similar to how our skin is getting more porous and allowing moisture to escape. And then we have something called the oil drop. The production of sebum, which is the natural oil in the skin, that can drop by up to 40% as we age. And then in addition to that, we have the ceramide gap. And this refers to us losing the glue that holds our skin cells together. And then we have the transepidermal water loss. There's a lot going on, isn't there? So basically, with the transepidermal water loss, the moisture in your skin is evaporating into the air because your barrier has tiny cracks in it. So it's like losing heat from the house through drafty windows. And all of those things together all add up to make your skin feel a little bit more sensitive. So it isn't just dry, it's actually becoming a little bit more vulnerable. So we really need to start looking after that and addressing the concerns that are causing it. So there's some big three ingredients to look out for when you're shopping for a moisturizer for sensitive skin. And when you're looking at labels, don't worry about all the fancy marketing terms. Look for these three types of ingredients that actually work together to patch up that leaky balloon we were talking about earlier. Now, the first ingredients are humectants, and they are water pullers. They're actually pulling moisture into the skin, and they're things like glycerin and hyaluronic acid. Next up, we have emollients, which are the smoothers, and these are ingredients like ceramides and squalane, and they work by filling in the little gaps between your skin cells to help make the surface feel smooth again. And thirdly, we've got the occlusives or the sealants. And these are ingredients like shea butter or petrolatum. And these sit on the very top of your skin to stop that moisture from evaporating out of your skin cells. So for sensitive skin, ideally you're looking for a moisturizer that contains all three of those ingredients. So a watery gel moisturizer just isn't enough anymore, and you really need that sealant step to keep the moisture locked in. So I see this really often with many of my clients. They'll buy a natural moisturizer thinking that means it's going to be gentle, and then it actually ends up causing more redness. So you really need to look out for the ingredients in your moisturizer and avoid these triggers if your skin is feeling sensitive. So first up, heavy essential oils, so like lavender, peppermint, citrus oils, they can be really quite active and irritating for a thin skin barrier. Denatured alcohol, it's often added to creams to make them dry faster, but it can be far too drying if your skin is feeling sensitive. And then strong fragrance, even if it smells lovely, fragrance is the number 1 cause of contact dermatitis. There might be too many actives in your moisturizer. So if your moisturizer's got things like vitamin C, retinol, and AHAs all in one, it's likely to be too much for your sensitive skin to handle all together in one product. Now, how you apply your moisturizer is almost as important as what is actually in the jar. So the damp skin rule, you might have heard me talk about this before. Try not to apply moisturizer to bone dry skin. So once you've cleansed your skin, pat your face dry so it's not dripping, but it's still a little bit damp. And this helps to trap the extra water under your moisturizer. And here's another little trick. Instead of rubbing your moisture into your skin, try the press and seal method. So if you rub, it's creating friction and it's creating heat, and both of those are enemies of sensitive skin. So I would suggest warming the moisturizer cream gently between your palms and then press it into your face. Try to avoid lots of rubbing. Now, nighttime is a really, really important time if you have sensitive skin. So nighttime is repair time. And as you get older and your skin loses more moisture at night while you sleep. So I always recommend a slightly thicker, cushiony cream for the evening to act as a barrier against the dry air in our bedrooms. And many women actually don't want to apply a thick moisturizer in the morning, especially if they're wearing makeup. So nighttime is the perfect time to layer up. And it's also the time when your skin repairs and replenishes. So giving it some really good hydration before sleep to fuel the skin night shift is a really great idea. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the aisles of skincare products in the shops these days, please don't worry, I've done all the homework for you. So if you look in the description below, you will see a link where I've categorized all of my product recommendations for sensitive skin, and I put them into different product types, and there's options for all budgets. And remember, you aren't looking for a miracle cream, and you don't need to spend a fortune, and you don't need a 10-step skincare routine. Often with sensitive skin, simple, basic routines are better until you get that sensitivity on the lowdown again. So in my next video, I'm going to be talking all about serums for sensitive skin and how you can use actives like vitamin C or peptides if you have sensitive skin without causing a flare-up. I hope you found today's video helpful, and again, I would love you to join my little skincare community by subscribing to the channel and watching the rest of this sensitive skin reset series. And let me know, do you have a moisturizer that you absolutely swear by for your sensitive skin, or one that you tried and you really hated and it set off your sensitivities again? Tell me in the comments. I really love to hear your experiences with products. And if you've got any questions on this topic or suggestions for future videos, please pop those in the comments too. Thank you so much for spending your time with me again in the Glow Studio today, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.